got to say nothing, but I'm bringing it up because I want you to say something. And at the end of the day, we won't be able to solve where I'm going, but just get in the car with me.
All right.
Steiny, I was so ashamed of myself at the gym Saturday morning because these jackals on Twitter, they pulled me in to a conversation, and I don't know these people. They don't know me. They know who I am. And the subject was so serious that you can't just do it with 140 characters, however many they let you do it on Twitter. And if you don't have respect, because that's what any good conversation of friendship stems and starts with is respect, you can't talk about serious issues. So I know you, being white, black, you Italian. What are you Italian? Yeah, we
mostly.
can. Yeah,
Identify as
well.
Italian.
How many soccer teams do you have won the World Cup? Maybe we get into this. You got like 4.
One, Juventus, rather.
That's the first time I only heard one name on the list.
No, Italy.
I was
okay.
But so Saturday, Steiny, I'm in there. I ain't gonna tell you where I'm going yet.
I know.
But we've had Warren Moon on our show, you and I.
We have.
And if you know anything about me and Evan, number one means a lot to me because Warren Moon was my favorite quarterback to ever do it.
Right.
But there was a time in this world that Warren Moon couldn't just come from college straight to the NFL because there was this thing or moniker out there that the black quarterbacks, that position was too much for him. So a lot of some of Warren Moon's career was at the CFL. He had to go prove himself, okay?
All right.
That was the world then, and here we are now. And what happened to me and why I'm ashamed of myself Saturday, Steiny, is, and why I'm using you now, I'm using you as a springboard. I've been around the block. I've seen a lot of things happen, and I'm not perfect. But I'm telling you, I figured out what I think is going on with Trey Lance and why I want to see him. And the reason and the point that I'm trying to make, which I will and ask you first, Steiny, nobody could tell me different. I really do believe race is playing a part in this kid not getting the benefit of the doubt, and I'm talking about Trey Lance. Now, I retweeted that video where he was at practice, doing the footwork and threw the ball over the intended receiver's head. It was okay. It was practice for some. Bonte was telling me Google was practice, and I get it. But I retweeted like I don't care what it was. That was bad. Forget the color. Forget the race. That was bad. And I've told you many times, I'm not excited about what I've seen from Trey Lance in his 4 starts in totality. I talked about his accuracy, his windup, but why I called for Shanahan to be fired and I didn't know where it was coming from in my heart, Steiny, was I knew that the game plan and the plays that were being called for him, it was almost offensive if you got the mindset that I have, and I know not many do. Matt, there's not a white quarterback that gets drafted the position that Trey Lance did and gets and the team used all the resources that they did to get him. Not the team, but the fan base is so quick to come to a judgment about this dude's a bum. He can't play. Trade him. Move on. And I've been biting my tongue for a little while, but the stuff that transpired daily, but to me on a personal level Saturday was over the top, and I just put the phone down. I wanted to go look, but it already had said too much. But Matt, I'm telling you, I'm calling you Matthew here. I may be wrong, but what's really bothering your black partner today is I really believe they're not you, not people to call. There's a lot of weird energy in regard to moving off of Trey Lance when white quarterbacks like Ryan Leaf, I can name 10 of them, get the benefit of the doubt. And it's just weird to watch. I know I've said a lot, but when you hear that, Steiny, and I know I'm the brother of the show, do you say, Goo, you're crazy? Or do you believe that I wouldn't bring anything this heavy to you unless I believed it?
So this is about the fan base?
The fan base, Steiny. I know you're not a fan of his work, but what have you really saw? And you did hit me the other day in the cardiac muscle with Goo. Maybe it's behind the scenes, but that don't sit well with me. Behind the scenes does not supersede the field. And to Kyle Shanahan's credit, He started Trey Lance last year. My question is, I'm asking the Jackals, people I'll never reach, people I don't know, their backgrounds, why they're giving up on this black quarterback, because that's what he is at the end of the day, Steiny. So fast. I don't think I've ever seen it happen this fast. And for me to share with you, thank you for listening, how I feel about this subject matter and his future, maybe you should tell me, Goose, stay off social media, but there's some energy, Steiny, some like momentum of Niner fans and football fans that think this kid is just done.
Well, I'll bet there's some people that think, who are the white quarterbacks drafted in that pick? Zach Wilson? I'm sure there are fans saying he's done, right?
Well, he may be.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know it.
Well, what's your opinion? I know it, but I'm going to ask you right. What's your opinion on
I
Lance?
think you're wrong, if I have to say so.
Right.
Or no, I shouldn't say you're wrong. I disagree with your opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know that you're wrong. My bad.
But you're still, back to football,
Well,
you just don't think highly of what you've seen from the kid thus far.
Well, I'm looking at it from the 49ers. The 49ers front office gave up 2 or 3 picks to move up in the draft to get Trey Lance.
Yes.
Okay. So clearly the organization's got no problem wanting a black quarterback or thinking Trey Lance was the best option,
right.
Black, white, yellow, or red. Okay, so then he comes in and, like all rookies, especially him, who hasn't played a lot of college, he's not going to start as a rookie. Like, that's not a big deal to me. Then the next year he starts and he gets hurt. Now we don't know. Now it's his 3rd year. I mean, I don't
see, and
nobody's giving up on him.
No, that was a beautiful
But if he
picture.
doesn't start, then what? Is he not starting because he's black?
Well, no, I'm not saying that because I'm not saying the organization is the organization is off my hook. And they're off my hook because they drafted him, Steiny, and they have started him last season. So he's not yet to be traded. My thing is more of just the noise that I'm hearing. You could tell me, there's a lot of noise, Steiny, and a lot of energy and things being said like this kid is 10 or 12 games under his belt, like they know what he is and you don't. And why I'm bringing out the race police or playing a race card is normally when a white quarterback is drafted this high and you've done all that to get, you get 9 lives. Now, I'm not saying Trey doesn't have 9 with the 49ers, but the Twitter, the social media, Steiny, they're ready to run him out of town. And it's just weird. I was watching NFL Network. It's like, oh, Trey Lance can beat you. How? Trey Lance can beat you. That would be negligence, not seeing what the kid has. In 4 games, 2 last year and 2 prior, that's not enough. Like, I'm asking, give them the benefit of the doubt before you start tweeting or going on shows, and I'll leave the reporters nameless. I mean, like, oh, the Niners could get off of them? Like, damn. I mean, what are you basing that on? And I don't even want to hear about Brock Purdy. It's about you owe it, the organization, any organization owes it to themselves to give the quarterback or player drafted that high umpteen chances.
Well, this is the fundamental difference that, honestly, we have with everything in the last year. And I
need to get off of it, man.
Well, no. It's for lack of a better term, or the way I characterize it is, I mean, I'm sorry. I don't feel like anybody just deserves to get out on the field. I'm just going to assume with Jonathan Kuminga, with James Wiseman, with Trey Lance, those guys came in to professional organizations, each of which was not ready in certain ways. They got all 3 of those guys in, and Kyle Shanahan said, well, he's not ready to play quarterback yet. Okay. Wiseman's not ready to play for a chip. All right. So next year. Well, Trey Lance started week 1.
Yes.
Then he gets hurt. So what do you, like
to me, I wanted to the people I don't know, Steiny, I'm like, that's not failure. He got hurt. Now, I'm not saying he was Joe Montana when he was in there, but how do we not watch him grow or go through his puberty under Kyle Shanahan. And I'll be the first to call a spade and say, hey, Steiny, you know what? The kid doesn't have it. I damn near was there. But I had to catch myself like, why am I so quick to tell the masses and share with you and Evan what I think about Trey Lance when he hasn't even been seasoned. He hasn't even been in the fryer enough on the stove to be seasoned. But you pick up your phone and that tweeter, the social, they are ready to run this man out of town. And I just wonder how much of race it has to do with it.
I can't.
That's as much. I just said it.
But what? I don't what? 4 guys on Twitter?
No, it's
and I'm not making a fun. I don't know. So guys on Twitter ready to run him out of town.
Well, you're not black too, Steiny, so your alarm is not going to go off.
You're no doubt right about that. I feel like
your alarm is. I got it.
No, but I'm not. I'm not aware. I don't know. I've never thought about it.
Have you even thought about it?
I haven't thought of.
Okay, and I get that.
I don't think anybody wants to run him out of town. But again, I'm not seeing what you're seeing.
So you think there's a lot of this just about football now? You think there's a lot of pro Trey Lance supporters out there? I don't.
Well, that's because he hasn't done a damn thing. And when he did play, he didn't show much.
Those are facts.
Okay,
but we're talking about a game and a half just this last year.
Well, he played 4 games.
Okay, well, 2 years ago.
You want to know? I'll just tell you the truth.
And I'm not saying he was balling out.
Trey Lance played 4 games. Brock Purdy's played 8. I don't necessarily believe in any of them right now.
But I don't
think either of them have played a lot of games.
And I'm not. Listen, Steiny, I'm just sharing with you my heart and my feelings. I would say Brock Purdy, it's obvious to everybody he's got off to a better start. But to ride that and say, oh, deuces to the pick in the draft that we got to shock the world that we traded up in, I find that odd. But I find I just feel like a lot of football fans are ready to move off of the kid without just giving him a chance at all. And when I say move off, trade him. Not shelf him, but trade him. And I'm like, where is that energy coming from?
The energy's coming from there's smoke. Where did the reports come that the 49ers were shopping Trey Lance? Why were we even talking about that?
No, it was
not true.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
Well, let's take some calls on this. JB's in Fremont. What's up, JB? How you doing, man?
Hey, Matt. How are you?
Dynamite.
All right. Hey, listen. I just wanted to say, I'm African American. I don't think this has anything to do with race whatsoever. I think Trey Lance showed up. He's very athletic, but when it came time, they put him in the game. The guy looked like an amateur. The pocket constantly collapsed on him. Every play was a broken running play, and I don't see a big future in him. I'd rather go with Purdy.
So are you ready to give up? It sounds like it. You're ready to give up on him?
Oh, yeah, get rid of him. 100%.
There you go.
Well,
I mean, to me, I don't look at they should get rid of him or they shouldn't get rid of him. I don't know. I have no idea how good he is.
Nurture him, man. Like all these other white quarterbacks, they've got the benefit. The Sam Darnold, when he first came, he wasn't on a team that was ready to go to the Super Bowl, but it's like, damn, people pulling the plug on you. Like, what did Trey do?
Well,
is there something about him you don't like? I'm asking.
Well, could I say the same thing about Zach Wilson?
Do more than and that has no race element in that.
Okay,
and you would be right.
They went out and got Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
So
George Rodriguez,
they gave up on a white guy.
$4.99 on YouTube. We got to read it, Steiny.
No.
We read it anyway. It's because Brock played so well, Goo. It has nothing to do with race. They believe Brock is better. Well, we're going to find out.
I mean, the other thing is there's so many instances of really good black quarterbacks. Who's the best quarterback in the NFL? He's black, right?
Yeah. P. Mahomes.
I mean, Lamar Jackson, Justin Fields looks good. I don't need to go through the whole list, but obviously the 49ers drafted Trey Lance because they thought he could at some point be their starting quarterback. And I don't know whether it's ability, inexperience, or injury, but he might not be the starting quarterback in week 1, year 3. Sean's in Oakland. What's up, Sean?
Hey, thanks for taking my call. I'm black, and I totally disagree with Guru. Guru, you sound like a lot of emotion more than logic. I think Trey Lance, he came in, he got a shot, he got hurt, that sucked. Brock Purdy, he came in, he got a shot, he's putting up 30 points a game. And with the coaching staff, they're going to probably go with the guy who's putting up 30 points a game. They don't have the time to go back and wait for Trey Lance to get better and all the other stuff. So I don't see no racism in this at all. And plus, we live in the Bay Area, so, I only think racism exists in the Bay Area anymore. That's all I got to say.
I mean, to me, there's two different kinds of things, and I think, what was the gentleman's name who just called? But I think I'm looking at it like, I don't know. Like, honestly, I don't know what the fans think. But I don't think, I mean, when you're talking about the organization, and you're not saying this, but the organization, I mean, they drafted this guy. They gave up a lot for him. They have no reason to want to see him fail. In fact, Kyle, if there's any direction he should be leaning, it's to want to prove that he knew this kid was going to be
my whole point.
Right.
And we don't know that not to be the case, and that's why I didn't.
So what if I said this kid's getting every benefit of the doubt? You know what? Trey Lance gotten every break in the book from the Niners.
Well, it'd be too soon to say that.
I mean,
because he started, they ran him out there, even though we know Jimmy was rusty, he needed time, but he started last year. That was his opportunity, and if who's to say if he remains upright, Trey Lance, Brock Purdy doesn't even see the field. So that's your best ability is availability. And again, Matt, I'm just, good God, man, I'm just.
Yeah, I don't usually come strong like this, but I don't. Now, there's two things. If you're saying that there's a segment of fans that want to run Trey Lance out of town because he's black.
I just want.
I'm sure there are some.
Yeah, that thought crosses my mind.
But I don't think you can lump.
And I'm not saying everyone.
Most 49er fans, or certainly the organization, in.
But there's some energy out there.